Hey guys, Mr. Mailhot here. Time to do a little functions practice. We're talking about composition of functions today. This is from our homework, combining and composing functions. We've done a video about combining. Let's talk about composing functions. So composing functions, it's kind of like another operation. With combining, with combining like these, we subtracted or multiplied, or some of these have addition or subtraction. We're adding functions together. Composition is kind of like another operation. It's not adding or subtracting or multiplying or dividing. We're putting a function inside of another function. A machine within a machine. So let's go through a few. Let's do 1, 2, and 4. Let's do number 1. Okay, we're dealing with two functions, the f function and the g function. And this is kind of like our function bank up here, like a word bank you might have on like a vocab assignment. So let's find f, and let's find g. Those are the two that this problem's asking us to use. With composition of functions, you work kind of inside out. So let's look at the inside, and we see g of -3. So that means in the g function, let's put in -3 wherever you see an x. So g of -3, we kind of have to do a little prep work before we do the whole problem, would be 3 times -3 squared minus 2 times -3. See how we just put a -3 in from wherever the x was. Simplifying, g of -3 is, okay, remember you do the exponents first, so -3 squared would give you 9, times 3 again would give you 27, so it's 27, minus, well, let's see, this is -6, so plus 6, so I'm seeing 33. So now what do we do with that? Well, this says plug g of -3 into f. Now we found out what g of -3 is. It is 33. So let's plug 33 into f of x, in for x. So here's the f function, and instead of x, we're putting in 33. So what do we get out? Let's see, 2 times 33 is 66, minus 1, 65. So f of g of -3 is 35. You plug in a 3, some stuff happens again, and you end up with 65. Let's do another one. Okay, number 2 is asking us to use function h and k. So these are two different functions, h and k. Remember, inside out, so start with h first. It's kind of like order of operations. You do parentheses first, like inside the parentheses. Let's take care of that first. K of -7, well, that means plug in a negative, or positive 7. Ooh, close. Plug in a positive 7 in for an x. So k of 7 would be 2 times 4 times 7 minus 5. A little simplifying. 4 times 7 is 28, minus 5 is 23. 2 times 23 is 46. Now, we take that 46, since it is the same thing as k of 7. Let's plug that whole thing into h. So h of 46 means plug in an 46 in wherever you see an x, 1 over 46. I don't need a decimal approximation. That's good enough. Let's go to number 4. So how is number 4 different than these ones? Well, look, we're not plugging in a specific number into these functions. We're not evaluating for a value like we are up here. These are evaluating. We come out with a number. These are just straight up composition. We're going to come up with a new function. Although, I mean, here we knew what to plug in first. Here's it's a little different. Like, what do we plug in? Well, look, you're going to take this whole g of x and plug that into the k function. So go up here. Here's g of x. It's this stuff, right? It's equal to g of x. There, it's that stuff. we're going to plug that stuff in to the k function, wherever we see an x. All of this is going in there. So one way we could write it is k of 3x squared minus 2x. That's g of x equals 2, all right, we're looking up here, 2 times 4. Now instead of this x up here, what are we going to put? All of this stuff. Minus 5. This is almost like you kind of did the work here. Like, this is composed. G of x is inside k of x. Right? Now we can simplify a little bit more. Let's distribute. So leave this to the end, right? Work with the parentheses first. 4 times 3x squared equals 12x squared minus 8x. This 4 does not distribute to that negative 5. It's not being multiplied by those parentheses, so it's just a minus 5 out there. And then we're almost done. Oops. I'm doing the multiplication here. So distribute the 2 through the parentheses. Oh, I did. That's why I wrote a 2, because it's 24. It's a little early, guys. Sorry. 24x squared minus 16x minus 5. This is k of g of x. And remember, we can write it like this. Cog with that little o, like k of g of x. The little o means of. Now, if we wanted to evaluate k of g of 1 or of 2 or of negative 7, we could do like we did up here and plug it into one function and then plug it into the other. We could do that, but we wouldn't really need to, because if I put a number in here, that's the same as if I put that number into this function. I mean, we wouldn't have to go through 2 steps. You could just plug in here. If I ask for k of g of 0, ooh, this would be a good quiz question. K of g of 0, plug in a 0. Yeah, negative 5. A little bonus there for you. All right, guys, come to class with some questions. Keep working hard. Remember, we're mathematicians. We can do anything we want. See you later.